Some of you probably know who this is. This is Abu Layth, a supposed Mufti. Some of you may remember him for his relaxed Q&A videos, his so-called refreshing takes on Islam, watered down Islam, and his constant smiling debates. But over the years, his content has taken a turn so far away from the way of the Qur'an and Sunnah that honestly people need to be warned. This is a man who openly wears necklaces, earrings, and treats it like it's just part of his style, while representing himself as a religious authority. And that's because he believes wearing them is okay and not haram.
I don't believe it's haram for men to wear earrings. Why would it be haram?
But that's just the surface. Since some of his stances take a person out of the fold of Islam, like joking about the Quran, some of its rulings, and the Quran authenticity, let's talk about some of his other most problematic stances. He's questioned authentic hadith agreed upon by generations of scholars. He's mocked and ridiculed respected Islamic scholars in public, on camera. He's downplayed the seriousness of zina to the point where people think it's not that deep. He's openly joked about Islamic rulings in ways that make them sound outdated and irrelevant. And he's promoted the idea that Islamic law should be reshaped to fit modern Western norms. This is a person who claims to be a Mufti, giving fatwas on matters of the Deen but always saying, I think, I feel, I believe, according to my understanding, and never mentions the Qur'an and Sunnah. So why should any Muslim follow such a person? This is a person who is always laughing like a comedian. Well, actually, he is a comedian and not a Mufti. Ha ha ha.
Burn! Shame! Shame! Yeah. You naughty. Yes. Sorry, the app. The app. Fast. Evil eye. Evil eye, people, evil eye. Oh, somebody's done a magic spell on me. Oh, the evil eye. Oh, the magic spell. All this is nonsense. There is no such thing as this evil eye or these kind of magic spells going on.
Now some people will say, but he's just being open-minded. He's thinking for himself. No, this is not thinking for yourself. This is rejecting centuries of consensus and replacing it with your own personal opinions. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever introduces into this matter of ours, Islam, that which is not from it, it will be rejected. And yet here we have a so-called Mufti introducing all kinds of things into Islam that have no basis. Not only that, he packages it with humor, confidence, and a casual style that makes it easy for young Muslims to swallow. So let's listen to few minutes of Islam according to Abu Layth. You can check the link down below for the full compilation video of Islam according to Abu Layth.
What do you have to say about Halloween? Is it permissible? I believe it's permissible. I believe Thanksgiving and things like that are not haram. Valentine's. So there is no overwhelming conclusive evidence that this is haram. You said it's okay to go to Christmas parties. I did indeed. You can go to parties. You can go, yaar. Those of you that are celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Let's be honest. Wallahi, let's be honest for a moment. We would not accept Islam if we were not born Muslim. Let's be honest. I would never. I don't instruct people around me to pray, for example. I would never instruct my wife or instruct somebody, say, oh, you haven't prayed Dhuhr, get up and pray Dhuhr. So we're chucking out a huge chunk of Muslims every day. And then we're obsessed about bringing in new Muslims. Why? Why do you want to bring in? Why do you want to bring them into this mess? Say, I converted people to Islam. Honestly, what good is that? What is there for these people once they convert to Islam? Nothing. There's nothing for Muslims, let alone them. Nobody is there for these people. Can a woman wear perfumes in public? Waqar Hassan, yes she can. People thought that, okay, all kind of idols, all kind of things, statues, anything based on that are haram within Islam. This demonstrates these things were not haram. I answered about tattoos previously, that I don't feel that they're haram as long as they're not entirely disfiguring. You say things like, oh, a woman cutting her hair or a woman plucking eyebrows is haram, deserves punishment. I mean, what kind of ridiculous. You see, when you put it in perspective like that, it sounds absurd. Hereby, in my opinion, no, music is not haram. Why are gold and silver utensils impermissible? They are permissible in my understanding. Isn't backbiting freedom of expression? Yes, it is. And that's why I said backbiting isn't necessarily haram in my understanding. What's your reason in why Allah had only male prophets and messengers? I believe there were female prophets as well. Why weren't there female prophets? I believe Maryam alayhi salam was a prophet of God. I am against this kind of blasting the adhan on loudspeakers when you're surrounded by non-Muslims. I would say even if it was a Muslim country, it's wrong. Look, it's not. You don't need to constantly tell. People ain't dumb. They know it's time for salah. I've been asked about oral sex and I've been asked about anal sex. The thing is that according to the school of Medina, when a couple are behind closed doors, it's all a green light zone. The thing about shisha takes the same ruling as smoking. So I don't believe it's haram. I believe it's perhaps makruh, discouraged. Would income from a shisha cafe be classed as haram? I don't believe it would be haram. Marijuana, these things are more a matter of legality. I do not believe they are a shari'i issue. You see, they should really kind of legalize things like marijuana, because they will then cut away all that kind of nastiness and all this and allow just a very kind of regulated brand to be produced for people who want it. Hair extensions are not haram. These kind of raffle tickets that are done, in my understanding, it is permissible. But I don't believe it's haram to swear. General, like if I said F that, what's the big, why would that be haram? What is your views on supporting the civil rights of the LGBTQ? Oh, is there a Q at the end as well? Community. The thing, Hassan, is that I believe we should support their rights. But I have to say, that is the most ridiculous fatwa that I've come across in recent times.
And these are just a few from the many blunders and lies Abu Layth utters against Islam. And do you know why he constantly and confidently lies against Islam? It's because...
I don't believe lying is haram, by the way.
Yeah, he doesn't believe lying is haram. And you will be surprised to know that even after all the blunders he utters, he still has a following from the Muslim Ummah. Those who think his version of Islam is the correct version. May Allah keep us all guided on the straight path. But make no mistake, once you start accepting these deviations, you're on a slippery slope. Before you know it, you're following his lifestyle instead of the Prophet ﷺ Sunnah. And here's the problem. When people call him out, instead of showing humility, he laughs it off, mocks the critics, and carries on. That's not the prophetic way. I'm not saying this to personally attack him. I'm saying this because influence matters. And when someone has a platform but uses it to chip away at the Deen, We can't just stay silent. So if you value your iman, avoid his content. Don't adopt his casual approach to the deen. Don't let his personality trick you into thinking compromise is okay. And some Islamic students of knowledge here on YouTube have even labeled him as an ex-Muslim. Others call him Dajjal, while others say he's being sponsored by non-Muslims to intentionally divert the younger generation of Muslims into a completely different version of Islam, one that would let them do as they wish. That is why you see those kind of supportive comments from young Muslims in his videos. Like we have mentioned earlier, avoid his content. He's no Mufti. He doesn't even sound like a Muslim, let alone give fatwas on Islamic matters. Islam is not a trend. It's not a personal brand. It's the guidance from Allah, unchanged for 1,400 years. May Allah protect us from false teachers, guide Mufti Abu Layth back to the truth, and keep our hearts firm upon the Sunnah. Ameen. If this kind of reminder benefits you, please do subscribe and share it. Assalamu Alaykum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh.